I had the great honour It was loads of fun of going on ABC's. I can say ABC here. It's the People's Network on Hard Quiz with the gorgeous Tom Gleeson last week. And of course, my topic, my area of specialty was Fleetwood Mac.
Respect.
Thank you. I would say I'm a medium Fleetwood Mac fan. I did name my firstborn Phoenix Rhiannon because Stevie was born in Phoenix, and my favourite Fleetwood Mac song is Rhiannon.
Wow.
And me and my mum do communicate exclusively in lyrics from Fleetwood Mac songs on text message, but doesn't everyone?
No,
but anyway,
you're a fan. Yeah,
going back through the annals of my Fleetwood Mac devotion, I remember this episode. In 2014, me and mum went to the Fleetwood Mac concert, and our habit was to dress as Stevie, me circa 70s Stevie, mum circa modern-day Stevie. So I've got the corset and the long witchy dress and the top hat and the blonde afro.
You did the whole hat and the
whole thing.
Okay, can we see photos of this, by the way?
I've got some.
Okay, we'll look at them.
Put them on the broad app. And I took it to another level because I knew Andrew McManus was touring Fleetwood Mac and Meatloaf at the same time. So I hinged my bets that he was actually in Sydney with Meatloaf. I've approached the security guard when we've gone in and said, Andrew, we're guests of Andrew McManus. He was going to organise our seating for us.
And this is absolute BS?
This is total BS. And the security guards looked at us and gone, I don't have anything, but maybe it's in the sound booth. So we've trotted down. Like we're on the level of the stage in the sound booth. We're grooving along. The guy in the sound booth said, just go to the front of the stage, which we did. So we're at the front of the stage. Lindsay's playing.
Only the primo $1,000,000 spots there, man.
Right at the front of the stage. He gave me his pick. I've got it to this day. I stuck it down my cleavage and it stayed there for at least 2 weeks.
Yes.
But then this guy comes up from behind us, this tall guy, and he goes, you must be really big fans, yeah? And we've gone, oh, yeah. And Mum turned around and realised it was Bob Jones, who runs Fleetwood Mac's security detail. Now, back in the day when my mum was all of 7 or 8, she trained in karate with Bob Jones. And she remembered him and she told me, we went, oh, my God. He's gone, you've got to go backstage. So we went backstage. We met the whole band. Finally got to meet Stevie.
No.
And by this stage, I'm crying. My mum's just a puddle hyperventilating in the corner.
Yes.
And back in another life, I used to write music for Interscope, and Jimmy Iovine, who produced all of Stevie's albums, was my go-to guy.
The solo albums.
And of course, I'd always banter with him about Stevie, and he's like, oh, that's Stevie. Every time we went to a new hotel, she'd take off her shawl and put it over the lamp because the lamp was too bright, she thought.
I've heard this rumour, so this is true.
It's true. And I've taken off my $2 Target shawl, but it's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
I've handed it to Stevie and I said, Stevie, I want to give you this because sometimes the lamps are too bright. She looks me in the eye. She cries. I cry. My mum's crying. Why the hell didn't we take a photo? That's my question. For all of that, we didn't take a photo.
But everyone would have been crying in the photo, but the photo would have been
It's even more authentic.
But I just felt like I was in the photo. That retelling, I was right there with you. That was so beautiful. Sometimes the memory is worth more than changing the moment.
We were so in the moment, but I still wish I had a photo.
Oh, yeah.
And has that ever happened? I mean, Elle, you're a rock star.
Yeah.
Michala, you're an actor. Where have you had an opportunity to have a photo with someone you idolised and you just didn't?
Go,
yes,
Ella.
Ella's put a hand up.
Well, I've had a lot of photos with weird and wonderful people over the years. It's funny. It's never the one you want, though, is it? Like, I've got, this is going to sound really weird. I've got a photo of myself and Nelson Mandela with his arm around me, patting my head, going, haha, look at your funny hair. Yeah, crazy. I know, I don't know where that is now, but the ones, and I had no idea what was going on at the time. I was just a whippersnapper going, what is life? But the people, I mean, he's, of course, that's Nelson Mandela. That's insane. But I can't approach people who I'm really excited about. I back down. So I'm in the line at Big Day Out, circa 2000, 2001 maybe, standing there in the food line at catering, as you do, and there's a tiny little figure in front of me, a tiny little birdie sparrow woman in a chic dress with like ironed black hair, and I'm like, that's PJ Harvey. That's PJ Harvey right in front of me. She's 30 centimetres away, and I can't believe she's eating. But hey, I digress. And
I'd be going, and what is she eating?
Well, I could have tapped her on the shoulder.
Please let it be like a hot dog on a stick or something.
Please.
Yeah, imagine
or
if
one
it's
of
a
those
battered
potato things on the stick.
Potato tornado was my favourite. My favourite thing in the world.
I don't think it was. I'm pretty sure it was strict, like a plate full of broccoli or something, or she wasn't even at the front yet. But here we are, lining up just like common folk, sisters.
two gals.
Sisters, two girls of rock in the line at catering.
You are two girls of rock.
But I couldn't do it. I couldn't tap. I couldn't approach. I just froze. And you know what? I think I probably made the right call, because as much as she is one of my absolute musical idols, like she's like female Bob Dylan to me. She's right up there. So I didn't do nothing. She turned around, she said, oh, hello, love, and I love you. But that was it. So opportunity missed, but perhaps better off. I don't know.
What about you, Michala?
I've got a few. Well, also to our delightful listeners, text in, because so many people have this
text
moment
in.
where they're like, damn it,
I mean,
wish
they're
I had a
fangirling or
photo.
fanguying so hard they just can't do it.
Yeah, so text us, who have you missed out on having a photo with? I've got a couple. I've got probably three crackers. I think did I tell you, Ella, about my Meryl Streep?
I was like, you and Meryl.
I'm just going to go in the corner and rock.
I know,
okay?
right?
Yeah. Well,
I
that's
know.
kind of, I'm embarrassed
That's
myself.
what she did.
somewhat in front of Meryl Streep. So I met Meryl Streep today. For those of you who's heard this story, including Ella before, I'm so sorry. I'll keep it brief. But Meryl Streep came out with Colin Firth and a bunch of other people to celebrate Mamma Mia, the film. I went to the opening. Someone knew Colin and said, come up, there's a VIP party upstairs. And so I went up to meet Colin Firth, and he was delightful, and that was lovely. And then they said, do you want to come and meet Meryl? And I was like, what? And then I met her, and she was very lovely. Hello, how are you? Extended her hand, which I sort of took and sort of shook, and then I curtsied and bowed at the same time in this weird, awkward, because I was
Did
so
you headbutt her?
overwhelmed. I didn't headbutt her.
Okay, that's all right.
But I did this half curtsy bow, a birdsy. We decided it was good. And then I was like, so nice to meet you. And then I kind of just ran away because I was so overwhelmed. Wish I'd had a photo with Meryl. Who doesn't want a photo with Meryl Streep?
That is a mistake.
I've got some more name drops for you though.
Can you please come on, drop them? I'm ready.
So I recently did a film with Liam Neeson, and so I'm in the film with Liam Neeson. And he was lovely, and I wish I'd asked him for a photograph, but I didn't. I actually wish I'd asked him to do my voicemail. Imagine that beautiful voice. Because he was so delightful and so lovely, like such a great guy, and we got on really well.
So he would have been up for it.
He actually would have really been up for it, but I kind of was trying to be cool and professional. And
I don't want to be
like,
one of those people who bothers you. Like, I don't want to be one of those plebs.
We're just workmates
You
now.
PJ Harvey'd yourself.
I was like, no,
cool.
I want to be cool here. And so I didn't. And then the third one is, we're running out of time, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I intimacy coordinated a film with Paul Mescal and Saoirse Ronan in the leads.
Oh my God.
And I spent a lot of time with both of them, who
With
are
them
both
naked.
truly. Yep.
I'm like, is that what it
truly
sounds
delightful.
like?
Yes, it is what it sounds like.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all the, where do I put this bit now?
Did it just
So-
get hotter in
so-
here?
a little bit.
Both absolutely delightful, wonderful human beings. And, of course, not appropriate for me to ask them for photos, even outside of a work context, which we spent a lot of time having dinners and things together. I just was like, it's not the right thing to do.
You don't do photos with your
I know, and I was
friends.
just like, I wish I'd taken a picture with both of them, because they were so gorgeous and so lovely. And now Paul, of course, is... Saoirse is a huge star, was a huge star already, and still is a huge star. And Paul is just going from strength to
exploded.
strength. And
He is blowing up.
yeah. And this was only a couple of years ago. So they're my three. Damn it.
Those are
But
pretty
text in
rocking.
if you've got one.
So Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
Oh my
I did just do a
goodness,
film
Meryl Streep.
with Aaron Eckhart.
Oh,
And he smacked me in the head with an oar.
Oh.
But then it was accidental. It wasn't supposed to happen. It was like a
Good.
death
Good.
survival
Otherwise,
moment.
we hate him.
But then he was so embarrassed. He apologised for the rest of the day. And when I got to my van at the end of the night, he'd filled it with flowers and champagne. Like, he's my friend.
What kind of champagne?
Okay, I think
What
we're
kind
just
of
having.
champagne?
I think it was a
I
couple
feel
of
a
bottles of
fantasy
Tattinger.
forming. I've just gained a new fantasy. Thank you, Madeleine West. That's just going to
Get
be.
your head.
What
Start
kind-
walking around with a.
I
Please
want
feel free to
detail.
hit
I
here.
want detail. What kind of flowers?
Yeah.
It was. Oh, they were all different shades of pink and peach and white. They were very tasteful. It was probably
Aaron
his assistant who
Eckhart.
got it, but he hired his assistant. So I figure there's
And he would have
only
said,
2 degrees of
"Please go
separation
and
there.
buy these
Could you
things."
go and
A
do this?
gentleman.
I know. And we're in the middle of the ocean, filming, stinking hot, long days. He's the lead. Kept having to jump in and out of the boat. Consummate professional, and then took the time to do
Aside from
that for me.
smacking you in the head with an oar, was he lovely? Was he delightful?
We didn't get to. He's very method.
Oh,
So he was very in the moment,
zone.
and I was
Oh, okay.
respecting that and didn't
Yeah,
want
see,
to
this
interfere
thing,
with
you
that.
go, just I'm letting you do
We
your
need to
thing.
get you back. I'm so fascinated. I want to know. I want to know what it's like hanging out with people whilst they're in the zone.
In the zone.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
let's talk
Michaela's
about
doing,
that.
she's hanging out with them when they're in the nude.
That's
That's a whole other level.
You're welcome.
Live big. Live broad. Broad Radio. Download the Broad Radio app now to listen.